Would you like to know what the 5 key elements are to being successful? Welcome, everybody. It's Stuart from Mindset Mastery. And today I want to talk about these key elements that you need to start living by. And it's these key elements that's going to help you to move forward in your life to become successful. Now, remember, success is not about how much money you've got in your bank account. Success underlying has what my understanding is, a level of, well, I've accomplished something. That is success. I've woken up in the morning and I've tied my shoelaces myself. That's also being successful. But what are those 5 key elements that truly high level successful people do every single day to become that high level successful people? Well, I'm going to share with you 5 pointers. The very first pointer, and it's a question. What is your purpose in life? Now, that's a deep question to ask. And for many, it's actually quite a challenging question to ask. You see, without a purpose, it's really going to give you no direction every single day. You see, ultimately, when you've got a purpose in life, ultimately it's going to start giving you that northern star, something that you can lead towards every single day. Instead of waking up in the morning, not having any kind of purpose or drive, and following the people around you, which means you're actually following somebody else's purpose and living towards their northern star, not yours. So you need to make sure that you've got a purpose. Why do you do what you do every single day? Understand it and have clarity behind it. Take some time and answer that particular question. So the first one is, what is your purpose? Why do you do what you do? The second, and this is something that you've all got, this is something that you've built up over the years. What is your talent? What are you good at? You see, if you don't identify what you're good at as a person, ultimately you will go through life almost with a self belief that's quite low down. Well, I can't really do that. Oh, I don't know how to do that. But when you can acknowledge what your talents are, what you're going to start to find is, hey, I'm not really good at administration. So what I need to do is I need to get an administrator to support my business, to support who I am as a person. Understand and identify your talents. What are you good at? Really write that down, acknowledge it, because then wherever those shortfalls are, you can leverage and fill those gaps with someone that has that talent. And that's how you circle. Think of any kind of sporting team. You've always got different levels of talent to do different tasks within that team. Individually, they're good at one area, but they may fall short in another. As a team, they become unstoppable. And that's exactly what you need to look at. So the second one is identify your talents and look for those shortfalls of how to leverage and grow. The third, and this actually sounds like something that you would go to a typical conference for. What are your values? And now, for most people, when we sit down and we look at our values, we kind of get totally lost. We kind of sit down and we go, well, is a value a word? Is it a phrase? Is it what I believe in? Is it what somebody else believes in? What are those values that I have? Well, I want to take it to another little level that might help you to understand this. When you understand your values, ultimately what it's going to do, it's going to help you to make decisions in your life. That's what those values actually do. So whenever you make a decision in your life, there's got a link to what your personal values are. Now, if you go through the process to identify what your values are, a typical conference type of experience, but then every time you make a decision, whether it's employing somebody, whether it's going out and getting a contract, look at that decision making and see if it ties into your values. See if there has some form of connection. Because when you can tie your values into your decision making going forward, you're doing everything with purpose and you're doing it with that talent that you've always got, and that's going to start moving forward. Now, the fourth one that I'm going to share with you is, and this is really what I want you to do is to have a look at the future. What impact do you want to make in the future? You see, it's so important that when you wake up every day, you're actually going towards that northern star, that bright shining light in the sky that gives you that direction. But when you arrive there, what impact have you made? What is the changes that you've made to yourself or possibly made to the people around you or to your business? What is the impact that you want to achieve in the future? This is something that can also go really deep, but when you've got that crystal clear vision of what you want to achieve and that impact you want to make in the future, suddenly everything, all those actions that you're doing today, starts putting you into alignment and they start moving you forward. The last one, and this is really going to start bringing it all the way back to you as the individual. Who do you need to be in the future? Not who do you want to be, because that's comparing yourself to somebody else, but who do you need to be in the future? Do you need to be a leader? Do you need to be a person that can help and support the people around you? When you can identify that person that you need to be, well, now you can start working on to become that particular person. So these 5 elements, you can bring it into your life and you'll be able to start living that life with success. So the first one is knowing what your purpose is. The second one is identifying your talents. The third one is knowing your values on how you make those decisions. The fourth one is what is the impact you want to make in the future? And the last one, who do you need to be in order to achieve all of that? Start looking at each one of those particular questions, answer them, get it true to yourself, and let your future be full of success.